Ugh. Whoa. Whatever, it's fine that way. Hi guys. You know, I had so many plans for this video. Now, I'm just in a shit mood and I don't know what to do about it. So I'm gonna film this video because, I don't know, editing makes me happy and I want something to edit. So I ordered 6 books and it was a fucking process to get them all because 4 of them got lost in the mail. But I got them all. I put them on my shelf. There's still 1 book missing because my dad's borrowing it right now, but that's fine. And as promised, I'm going to do a bookshelf tour. Yeah. I'm having a bad day. I hope that filming this video makes me have a better day. This is the bookshelf tour. I hope this makes you happy or entertains you or whatever the case may be. Anyways, let's go. So this is my bookshelf from top to bottom. I have a mini Bop It here. Don't ask me why. This is a Lego car I built with my boyfriend for Christmas. This is a book light. You clip it on the top of your book and then there's like 3 settings for the light, so I use that at night. All of my books, except for the last shelf, are arranged in alphabetical order. The last shelf is just arranged in nothing. It's all like my photography books, non-fiction books, my advertising books, Jordan Peterson. Here we have Russ, my self-help books, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, Running on Empty. That's actually a parenting book, but it's actually a really good book. Humans of NY, learning Spanish. Yes, I was gonna try and learn Spanish. Did I? No, but it's fine. I have my tarot textbook right here. I have my astrology textbook right here. My M&M book right here. I also have another one here. I have a cooking book. I have some crime picture book thingies right here. So yeah, that's my bottom shelf. Going up to the top, like I said, they're arranged in alphabetical order by author's last name. Eventually, when I have too big of a bookshelf, I'm gonna organize them differently. I have these books. This is the selection series. I just got these 2 books. I'm so excited to read them. I've already read all of these. I love them to death. I have the Hunger Games series. I haven't read the new one, but I read these, I think, last summer before going to school. Also, poetry books are also in this shelf, but I have Lana Del Rey's new book. This book, I love. It's one of my favorites. I recommend it all the time. These are some poetry books by Michael Faudet, who's like Lang Lee's partner. I have her books. Oh, not here. Here. I have her books here. Gone Girl, I recently read that. It was so good. If I Stay, I read when I was in like elementary school. Where She Went is terrible. If I Stay is actually good. I have some John Green over here. I was obsessed with this book. I read it in a day. I have not read Paper Towns yet, but I watched the movie. Looking for Alaska, the first half was good, but then after Alaska died, it sucked. Supermarket, Bobby's book, Logic. I don't know if you guys know Logic. That was his book. Actually, he just announced that he's releasing a memoir, so I have to get that. This book is so good, and the soundtrack to it is even better. This series, To All the Boys I've Loved Before, I read it before it was even signed to become a movie. I have my gripes with it now, but back when I read it, I really loved it. The Girl on the Train is so good. I fucking loved it. The movie doesn't do it justice. The Kite Runner I read for school, but I really liked it. I have the 50 Shades series. I remember my mom stood in line at the bookstore to get one of the very first copies. I have some Repi Core. I have The Sun and Her Flowers twice because my dad bought them for me twice, but my dad and I do this thing where like whenever we buy each other books, we write in the inside of the book, and so because he bought it to me twice, he has 2 different messages on them, so I don't want to give one away. To Kill a Mockingbird, we all know about that. The Agency. So I read book 3 in grade 7 for a novel study, but for some reason I got all 3 books. I don't think I ever read these 2, but I want to. This book, The $80 Champion, it's based off of a true story. I loved the movie, and I love horses, and I love the story, and I want to read it so bad. But chapter 2 is about like horses being sent to the slaughterhouse. It like paints that scene, and I have a huge issue with that. I'm like really sensitive when it comes to that, and I can't get past that chapter. So I'm working on it. I have the Twilight series down here. I don't know if I've read the first 3 books or the first 2 books, but I have to finish that. Oh my god, the Chaos Walking series, one of the best series of all times. Okay, listen, Patrick Ness is such a good author. If you want to get into him, I recommend reading More Than This. It is the first book I read by Patrick Ness. My friend recommended it to me. Shout out to Nikki, I love you. I read this book and it was so good, so I decided to try another one of his books, so I got The Knife of Never Letting Go, and I fucking fell in love with it. So then I read the entire fucking series in a week. It was so good. It was so fucking good. All the Bright Places, I read this before it was signed to be a movie. Now it's a movie on Netflix. Movie doesn't do it justice, of course. The Delirium series, such a good series. I haven't read it in so long, but I remember I fucking loved them. They were so good, so fucking good. The Golden Compass, I've been trying to read for so long, but I can't. I just find it so boring. I like the movie, but I find the book so boring, but I think, you know, one day I will have to. Divergent series, of course. I read it when I was really young. Of course, I loved it. In 5 years, I read during quarantine. It's not my favorite book, but it definitely has a good message that I recommend. The Queen's Gambit, my boyfriend bought this for me. I'm actually in the process of reading it right now. It's actually really good. It's kind of a funny story I read in elementary school. It used to be one of my favorite books. I don't know if it is anymore because, you know, it's been a long time. I just bought the Ugly series. I've been wanting to read this series since literally elementary school, and I'm in university now. Like, I wanted to read it for so long, and I just never did. And then I finally ordered them, and they're all here, and I'm so excited, and I can't wait to read them. Bridge of Clay, one of my favorite books of all time. I think my favorite books of all time are tied between The Book Thief and The Bridge of Clay. Both of them are completely different, but by the same author. Marcus Zusak is my favorite author as of right now, although I have to admit Patrick Ness comes a close second. I Am a Messenger was really good as well, but it just doesn't compare it to these two. Also, my dad has my copy of 1984. I read that in October, so a couple months ago. Really good book, kind of slow in the middle, but you have to read it. Anyways, that's my bookshelf. That's not as, I didn't go through all the books that I have because, I don't know, some of them are not that significant to me. I have this thing where I like collecting physical copies of books. I'm going to read all of them on my shelf. That's a really big thing for me, like a really big goal. But I know a lot of people get rid of books they didn't like. I keep them all because, I don't know, I want a library. I want a library, and like when you think of a library, not every book you have in your library you like. And the reason why I want a library is so that my kids can read. So I want like a bunch of books. And even if I didn't like them, maybe my kids will, you know? So yeah. Anyways, that's my bookshelf tour. That wasn't as interesting as I thought it'd be. Let me know if you want like a book recommendation video or like, I don't know, top 10 books of all time video. Or if you have any questions about any books, let me know. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. I'll see you later.